already 6:48. It's already a little late. So I'm gonna do this now. So if you if you saw the title on here, it's what is the subconscious. So I'll be discussing what the subconscious is. So it's also in my book, but we'll get to that later. So what is the subconscious? So technically it is an awareness beneath your conscious mind, right? I don't know if you guys can see this. It's also inverted, and I don't know how to invert my camera. So it's okay, I'm gonna go over everything that's on here. So the subconscious is an intelligence beneath your conscious mind or your awareness, right? It's also, it's like the software system to the hardware. The conscious mind is the hardware. The subconscious, on the other hand, is the software. What does this mean? It means that when you think about the software of a computer, right, you think about things like Google Chrome, Excel, Microsoft, right? These are all programs that you put into or you install on your computer, and it tells your computer or your laptop what to do, right? This is essentially what your subconscious is. Your subconscious is the software. Your conscious mind is the hardware, right? The hardware is, it's essentially your conscious mind serves as a guard to your subconscious, right? If your subconscious were open to the world, which I would say most of you all, your subconscious is more vulnerable than you might think, right? Because your conscious serves as a guard to your subconscious mind, what it does, or rather what it's supposed to do, is it's supposed to filter out information, right? So that nothing gets into the subconscious without the conscious mind's consent, right? The conscious mind serves as the ego, right? And so what that means is that it always needs validation. Your conscious mind is constantly trying to make sense of things. It does not operate in faith, but it does, oh, I hate that filter. It needs to move. Jeez, move it. Anyways, your conscious mind needs validation all the time, and it does not operate in faith. Things have to make sense, which means everything has to be almost step by step. Your subconscious, on the other hand, knows, right? It does not need to be convinced of anything, but your conscious does need to be convinced. Your subconscious knows because it never sleeps. It's always recording, right? So what does that mean? When you go to sleep, right, your conscious mind is usually put to sleep. Your subconscious, on the other hand, it records your dreams, right? It is aware of you when you are sleeping. It does not sleep, so it's aware of everything around you while you do sleep, right? Whatever the conscious mind misses, the subconscious stores it, right? And so this is where your greatest fears, your beliefs, your expectations and whatnot, patterns and whatnot are found in the subconscious. Now, most people believe that it is your subconscious that limits you, but it is in fact your conscious that limits you. Why? Because your conscious mind constantly needs validation in order to move forward. It cannot move forward unless things make sense. So it's very linear, right? The subconscious does not need convincing because it records everything and it doesn't sleep. And so it can almost be compared to, I want to say God, right? Because it is omnipresent, right? And so it's aware when you sleep. It's aware when you're awake. It does not sleep. It records everything that your conscious mind is not fully aware of. And so I'm trying to make sure I did cover that. I think something that I really want to discuss though, however, is, yes, the subconscious. I would like to also compare it to that of a womb, right? When you think about a womb, it stores, it nurtures in it, and, you know, things within it grows because it's a nurturing environment. Your subconscious is the same, right? And like a womb, it creates, right? Everything that is stored in the womb, aka your software, aka your subconscious creates a reality based off what is already stored in that womb, right? Or in that subconscious software. And so when you think about patterns, which is located in the subconscious, right? Those patterns influence your decisions, those unconscious decisions that you make that are based off of your beliefs. That is what creates a reality. And so as a result, your subconscious is, I don't want to say the culprit, but it is the cause of all realities that you may create, because those realities are created from your beliefs, and those beliefs are stored in the subconscious, right? And then when you think about a reality that you cannot escape, that is, I don't want to say it's built, but that is created typically when your subconscious, which stores patterns, right? When you are making unconscious decisions, right? And you're making these unconscious decisions consistently, you create an inescapable reality that reinforces your belief or belief system. Something that I would really like to discuss is how to break a pattern. Now, these patterns, again, are located in the subconscious. But how do you break the pattern, right? You break a pattern by creating a new pattern, right? And so what will happen typically is that when you are introducing to the software system or the subconscious a new pattern, what happens is your nervous system rejects the new pattern, right? The new pattern that you're creating by way of making new decisions, by way of executing on those new decisions, that is a new program that you're putting into your software. Your nervous system is going to reject it, right? Because your subconscious is not used to unfamiliarity. And your nervous system, your conscious, your body, right? As human beings, at our base or at our core, we are animals, right? And so what that means is that our very makeup is designed to survive, right? But more importantly, your nervous system is not here to help you expand. It's here to keep you safe, right? Same as your conscious mind. And so what this means is that when you introduce a new pattern by way of, when you break a pattern by way of creating a new pattern or introducing a new pattern to your software, your body will reject it, right? Fear and all these other things, because it's unfamiliar territory, and unfamiliarity equals a lack of security, which equals a lack of safety. And your body and your mind is going to fight you every time, right? And so what this also turns into is self-sabotage, right? Because it's your nervous system trying to bring you back to a place of safety. Now, another thing that people do not really talk about is that when you are introducing a new program to the software system in an effort to break the pattern, or break a pattern that you prefer to break, whatever, by way of creating a new pattern, when you do this consistently by way of committing to a decision consistently, right? You're not only breaking a new pattern, but you are solidifying yourself in a new identity, right? Your old pattern is associated with an old identity. And so if you can commit to the new pattern, you solidify yourself in a new identity and therefore break the old pattern. And so the old pattern is no longer accessible, right? I don't want to say you've killed it, but you cannot access it because you are solidifying yourself into a new identity. Make sense? I discussed this further actually in my ebook, the game series Beyond Survival. I'm not sure if you guys can see the, not the comment. If you guys can see the pinned comment, can you all see the link to my pinned comment? I'll put it back up if you cannot. Let me paste. That's odd. Nah, you can't see it. All right. I will, let me put it back up again. I don't like when it does that. Let's do that one more time. I would like to, oh gosh. Wow, that's, pin this comment. Okay, cool. I think I did it. Can you guys see it? It's pinned for like 55 seconds. 50 seconds now. KT, I don't really know your name. I need to know if everyone can see the pinned comment in this live right now. No, still? KTE, hi. Sorry about that, hello. KTE, can you see the pinned comment? Yeah, okay, great. If you guys can go to that link, it popped up, thank God. If you all could go to that link, press it really quickly. I want to show you guys something. You can put it in your Google search. I'll put it back up again. Gosh, I hate this. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here it is. Pin the comment again. Okay, so it only goes up for a minute. I want to show you guys something. I discussed this further, the subconscious being the womb, right? That you essentially need to hack, given the fact that it stores all of your patterns and it controls 95% of what you do, right? I discussed this in my website, which I pinned in the comment section. Let me just turn my camera. How do I do that? Oh, let's see how this goes. I'm gonna flip it really quickly. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. So you all should see this. This is my website and this is where my book is exactly. Hold up, let me check it out. I'll be back. Okay, great. So this is my website. Great. So this is my website. Stuff is gonna die. Anyways, right now it's up for $35. However, if you're in here, yes, I am a writer. If you're in here, I'm going to bring this down to a discount if you are going to purchase it tonight. So I'm gonna bring this down to $25 only for tonight, right? For the people who are in here live and for the people who want to purchase it tonight. So I'm going to put this up. Let me know if you all are on the website, but this is exactly how it should look. Let me just flip the camera really quickly. How do I do that? I'm sorry guys, I'm not as savvy as I would like to be, as I don't really go. Can I flip the camera, please? God, I hate this. Sorry. All right, cool. So I'm about to put this on a discount really quickly. Let me do that now. For those of you that enjoyed this live and you want to learn more about the subconscious mind, specifically on how to hack it, right? Because it is a womb and it is a womb that creates. I'm going to put a discount on this, but not for a long time. So if you're gonna get it now. Let me, okay, cool. I'm gonna publish it really quickly. Nice. Okay, let me pin this again. Just in case you guys did not see it or you're trying to access it still. The link to the book or to my ebook is pinned in the comments. So I'm going to go back to it now. Let me turn this camera. Flip the camera, please. Oh, God. I wish I could bring this down, right? Okay, so if you guys are already here, I've already brought it down to about $25. Here are the reviews so far. People have already DM'd me about how transformative this book has been for them, how they're able to use it as a tool for their personal growth, essentially, their personal journey. I am going to put a timer on for 5 minutes, and then the price is going back up. All right? Go to clock really quickly. So if you enjoyed this live, and you especially enjoyed my insight on the subconscious, I put all of my downloads in this ebook, the game series Beyond Survival. I don't know if you guys can see it. There we go. Is anyone there? Oops. Also, when I said I'm putting a timer on, I meant that. It's 4 minutes and 26 seconds. So you have about 4 minutes and 21 seconds until I bring this price back up to the regular price. Uh-oh, I'm here. Okay. Well, share this with someone who you know does, and this would be helpful to them. But a lot of people have already purchased it, and they've already messaged me and DM'd me about the transformative properties in this book that I wrote, right? For a lot of people, they've already, I think specifically what stuck out to them is my chapter on religion and how it serves as an authority in this game of life. So a lot of people have definitely talked about how it's helped them in their personal journey and whatnot. So yeah, let me know if you guys are having difficulty getting to the website. But I also have free content. If you go back, there's also my newsletter. You can grab a free newsletter here, The Expansion of Your Nervous System. I go further into detail about what I discussed today on this, my newsletter on Substack, which is free. And then, of course, if you want to start a Stan Store website yourself, you can click here. But if you just want to access my writings and you don't have it right now for the game series, also, I think on the timer, we're at 2 minutes and 28 seconds. But if you do not have it right now to access this book, which goes really further into detail on what I discussed today, I would recommend my free newsletter, which is on the expansion of your nervous system, The War Within, on Substack. And you can subscribe here. But for now, let me know if you guys are unable to get there. I'm going to pin, this one more time. Also, any questions? Got 1 minute and 42 seconds. Whoa. No, I just got here. Okay, cool. No problem. I'll be doing this more often than not, but yeah, 1 minute and 13 seconds. So this is only $25 right now, and then it's going back up to $35 once this timer ends. If anybody, it's only 2 people in here. Well, you never know. People are scrolling all the time and they come across lives all the time. So I am, what time is it? 7:09. I started, I think, at like 7:46. No, 6:46. Oh my God. Well, I think I'm going to do, which is fine. It could be my timing. So I'll do it again tomorrow. Do it at an earlier time, probably between the hours of 8 and 10 a.m. To discuss the subconscious again. I do this often, and I go over the subconscious, and I not come up. Okay, so the timer has ended. Anyways, I basically share my insights on what I know about the subconscious, and I am a writer, so I did put all of these insights, downloads, experiments into my digital manual. It's only 22 pages, so it's an easy read. But yeah, I would recommend you all follow me for updates, so that you don't miss a live. And yeah, I'll probably end it for now. But I should be back here tomorrow between the hours of 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. because I should be up by then. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. I enjoy talking about the subconscious, and so I'll probably do it. I only planned on being on here for like 20 minutes. But now I'm seeing more people, and I'm kind of like, should I extend it to another 30 minutes? Depends on my energy. I'm not tired. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, I don't think I planned on going any longer than what I've already given. I think tomorrow's live should be longer, because I see kind of, oh my God, hey Faina, dang, kind of, oh my God, hey Faina, dang, I'm so sorry. Now I'm like, damn, okay, maybe I should go over it again. What's up? I didn't know. Damn. Okay, so I just got done explaining the subconscious. Join, invite, okay, never mind. I thought you would ask to join the live. Unless you want to do that. No, it's getting ready to sleep, to be honest. Oh, okay, cool. No, I was just, what the hell? Let me block you really quickly. This is why I don't stay on that long, because there's always weirdos coming in the live. It's like I can't. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try that. It's like I can't block the person. I can only report. Anyways, there's always weirdos coming in the live much later. Then I don't know what that is. It's quite annoying. But it's always when I extend the live a little longer that's when all the weirdos start to come in. And it's not only weirdos, it's just people who just are shit at social skills. They don't have any social skills. A lot of people are absolutely horrendous in their social skills. I mean, it is as if they were raised by, I don't know, not even an animal, but perhaps, right? I think dogs have more, what do you call it? Not even social skills. Well, perhaps, yeah. We, on the other hand, a lot of people don't have social skills. They come on here, and I think this digital age has really killed that skill. Like it's made it so unimportant, and yet it is. I made a whole video about the importance of social skills because without social skills, right, you cannot network. And if you cannot network, your network is your net worth, right? Which means you cannot get into rooms or doors unless you know how to communicate. And a lot of people are shit at communicating, right? So you come on here saying all types of shit because you don't know me. These people, mind you, don't have a profile pic for the life of them. So these are cowards throwing stones like most people on this app are. I'm not coming for it killed the social connection we used to have. I agree. More than that, it not only killed it, it's like, I know the literacy rate is, anyways, I know the literacy rate is like at the very bottom, right? And so it's not just that people cannot read, but people cannot express what's in their minds, and they can barely articulate, right? They talk like they have no impulse control, right? They speak before they think, right? So there's no proactive thinking in here, right? This is what happens when you don't use your mind or your brain enough, right? And I think this digital age, which really, it encourages overconsumption, I would say, because people will consume to no end, right? They'll just kind of keep doing this. And so there's like a cognitive obesity that's kind of going around, and is kind of rampant. It's a rampant problem. And so, you know, people, they say things that you just be like, were you raised? You know, and it's not even where you raised, but do you go outside, right? Because if you interact with people, and if you're in rooms in which you have to think before you speak, it will sharpen this enough to think proactively, right? So that you don't get into situations or unfavorable situations, undesirable situations, or incur undesirable outcomes, right? Which most people do by way of opening their mouth and not thinking before they speak, right? Since you guys are here, let me just pin this in the comments again. I discussed the subconscious mind, but it ended up changing into something else. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Bana. Thank you. Much love. Thank you. So I'm going to discuss it again because there are new people here. All right, so I want to discuss the subconscious really quickly because I think a lot of people, I don't want to say they got it wrong, but a lot of people don't really understand what it is. So by definition, the subconscious, this sucks because I don't know if you guys can see it. You probably can. It's fine. We're going to go over it. I'm going to go over it. So the subconscious, it is an awareness or an intelligence beneath your awareness or beneath your conscious mind, right? So the subconscious is like the software, right? The conscious is like the hardware, okay? Now, what makes a software, right? When you think about the software, you think about programs, right? The software on your computer is like Microsoft Word, Excel, Google Chrome. These things tell your computer what to do, right? That is your software. That is your subconscious. Your conscious mind serves as the hardware to the software. Your conscious mind's function in relationship to the subconscious is to filter out what goes in, right? To essentially vet information before it gets to the subconscious, right? So nothing gets to the subconscious without the conscious mind's approval, right? And so it serves as the guard of the subconscious. Now, your subconscious controls 95% of what you do, right? So that means that it stores your fears, your beliefs, right? Your expectations, right? It also stores all of your patterns, right? And so your subconscious acts as a womb, reflecting the algorithm of the universe. What does this mean? It means that your subconscious is constantly creating, and your conscious mind's job is to serve as not only a guard, but to protect that creative machine, right? And so whatever gets into your subconscious, which serves as a womb, nurtures that idea, that pattern, right? It nurtures it, it grows it, it multiplies it, right? And so when you think about everything that you do, right? Like all of those unconscious patterns that you carry out, this is the womb creating a reality based on all beliefs that are stored in the subconscious, right? Most people believe that it is your subconscious that limits you, but from what I have experienced, tested, and whatnot, I would say that it is in fact your conscious mind that limits you. Why? Okay, so your subconscious knows, right? It is always aware. It never sleeps. It records even when you go to sleep, right? And so it can be compared to something that is omnipresent, right? And so, I'm sorry, my mind is a little off right now. It's not off. I think I'm just a little tired. But anyways, so when you think about your subconscious being a womb, right? So constantly creating, all of these unconscious beliefs that are stored underneath the conscious mind, right, or the intelligence, it creates a reality, but it creates a loop of a reality that you cannot escape by way of making decisions, consistent decisions that reinforce the reality that's already stored, or reinforces the belief system that's already stored in your subconscious. What I really wanted to discuss is the pattern that is located or stored in the subconscious. How do you break a pattern? You break a pattern by creating a new pattern, right? So what this means technically, I realized I kind of forgot to go back to that concept. I'll go back to it later. Anyways, so to break a pattern, you must create a new pattern. What your body is going to do is it's going to reject the pattern, the new software or the new program that you're installing into the software, right? Software, aka your subconscious, right? Your nervous system, your conscious mind, your body, right? I want you all to think of this as we are all humans, which means at our core or at our baseline, we are animals, right? What does this mean? It means that my body, my mind, and my nervous system are wired to ensure that I survive, right? That means that expansion threatens my safety, right? Expanding beyond the programs that are already located or installed in your subconscious triggers your nervous system, right? Because it's new and your subconscious does not like anything that is unfamiliar, right? And so I don't know what that comment means. But what this means is that if my subconscious, my body, if everything is wired to ensure that I survive, that means that anything new that I introduce it to, my body will reject, right? And so what you would have to do, and it makes sense essentially, because what you are doing by doing something, I don't want to say new, but yeah, you're essentially forcing your body to commit to a new program by way of making new decisions consistently. What you're doing in that process is you're solidifying yourself into a new identity, right? Your subconscious, which does not like unfamiliarity, your nervous system, which does not like unfamiliarity, even though this unfamiliarity could indicate, or it could be an opportunity to expand beyond your current reality, your body, your nervous system, your mind is not really, it's going to put up a fight, right? And so what you essentially have to do is commit to that new program by way of making that new decision, right, that scares you or that scares your nervous system over and over again, because what you're doing is you're solidifying yourself into a new identity. And once you do that, you can no longer access the old pattern or the old program, because you have become a new person. Does that make sense? Hope it does. I discuss this further in my book, right? Right now, it's $35. However, if you are on the live and you plan on buying it tonight, I'm bringing it down to $25. So I'm taking off 10%, or $10. Let me just pin this so that you guys can access. Can everybody see the pinned comment? I'm sure you can. So I go, if you enjoyed this live, oh great, thank you, Faina. If you enjoyed this live, I would recommend you check out my book. I go way further into detail. It's usually at $35. Right now I'm putting it up at $25. If you plan on buying it tonight, oops, I accidentally liked my own live. Let me flip the screen really quickly. Is everybody here? Yeah, so it looks like it's on for about like 8 seconds or something. Okay, so if everybody is here, I'm going to keep this at a discount for right now. I want to say I'm going to keep it at a discount for about 5 minutes, and then I'm putting it back up to $35. Quite literally. So the timer has started. If you enjoyed this live, I don't know how many times, or I don't know how long I'm going to stay on here rather, but right now it's $25, right? And I'm only leaving it at $25 for 5 minutes. If you're going to grab it now, grab it now. Otherwise, I'm putting it back up at its original price, which was $35. Is everybody there? Everyone who's kind of been here for... The reference of animal only means young. I am going to address this comment in a bit. Maybe I'll just do it now. When I say animal, what I mean is, yes, we're here. Thank you. But what I mean when I say animal is, at our core, right, we are mammals. And beyond that, ascending beyond that of an animal is a human, and ascending beyond a human is a master, an architect, or a god, right? It's really just a person who can essentially create their own reality within this one. Bend reality, bend time, right? It's all the same thing. And so most people are animals, right? They're closer to their nature than others. And one of the reasons why is because the less aware of yourself you are, the more inclined you are to not only react to things, but I want to say, when it comes to your triggers, right, those things rule you, right? You are loyal to not only your instincts, but you're loyal to your carnal desires, right? So it's a lack of discipline, a lack of self-control, the inability to control your mind, right? All of these things make you animal, right? And there are consequences for being an animal. Nobody really cares about the life of an animal. I talk about all of this in my book, right? So all of these downloads that I'm sharing with you guys, I put it in this book. Yeah, I'm glad that made sense, KTE. Glad it made sense. Currently, where's my phone? Here it is. Currently we are at 1 minute and 38 seconds. So, also, these are like my reviews so far. A lot of people have DM'd me who bought the book already and essentially told me that, you know, the book is kind of like a tool that they can use, right? That, well, they can reference, they can reference on their own personal journey, which is really beautiful. That always makes my heart swell. And then I think something that really sticks out to people is the chapter where I discuss authority, right? Specifically religion being an authority. When you cannot create your own reality, and when you do not trust yourself, you kind of fall within the system, in the game, right? This game of life or whatever, and that governs you. That tells you how to perceive life, what decisions to make, right? Whoops. Okay, never mind. I thought I did something. I didn't. This is kind of the inside of the book, or like how it looks. This is what I discuss. Of course, the intro, the role, your role in the game, the conscious mind versus the subconscious, the rules of the game of life, the 3 levels of every player, how to use this knowledge, and my final takeaway. But this is, I'm not gonna show you guys everything that's in the book. Is this your first live? No, it's my second. It's my second, Faina. It is my second live. Oh, the timer is up, guys. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm not seeing anything, or I'm not seeing anyone say anything. Let me just turn this around. But yeah, this is my second live. Okay, so the timer has ended. If you're going to grab it now, because I'm about to put those prices right back up. But I will be here tomorrow from, it is now 7:30. When did I start? I think I started at 6:40 or so. So yeah, that's a little while. How are you liking it here, Faina? But no, this is my second live, but I should be here tomorrow. I want to say from, maybe 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm still testing the times of the live. Let me change this back. At least you have solid 2 minutes because you I mean, it's 4 now, but yeah, absolutely. I'm just, what it is, KTE, is I am committed, right? So that's what it is. It's solidness to my manifestation, but more than anything, you have to commit to the you have to commit to the decisions that you make. I don't know if 2 of them are ghosts, but if you're in here, you're in here, right? Oh, thank you. Much love to you as well. But I want to say 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow. I should be good. Yeah, I mean, ever since the last live, I only did it for like 20 minutes. Because it was like, I want to say my first one in which I was like discussing the subconscious. So this live is actually, in comparison to the last live, much bigger in growth than it's expanded. It has gotten, it did kind of get bigger or whatever since the last live. So it's not that it's not growing, it's just it's a consistent growth. What was I saying? I was saying that I'm going to do this again tomorrow, or I'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Because I just think that's a better time for me. But right now I'm just kind of testing the times, what time makes sense, not only for my schedule, but for people coming in. This is also the weekend, so it's probably going to be not completely different, but somewhat different throughout the week, right? I would think, because jobs, school, or school and jobs. So yeah. Okay, it's 7:36. I think I did an hour, and I'm not burnt out. I think the very first time I did an hour, I was burnt out. It's actually horrible. But yeah, this seems pretty sustainable, so I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Thank you, KTE, and thank you, Faina, for being here. I'm gonna change the price really quickly. Can I change it? Yeah, I can. Let me just change that very quick. Let's take that off. All right, cool. All right. Okay, guys, thank you for joining. If you're up tomorrow, I think between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., follow me if you enjoyed this and you just want to hear more about the subconscious. Also, again, my link is in the bio as well, and I did pin it in the comments. I'll do it again, but I essentially discuss this and even more in my book. So yeah, this will be up for now, but it's 7:37. And yeah, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow maybe, or whenever you're available, but follow me so that you don't miss a live. All right.